Oh, how greedy can you get? You just had to square the ball, and Huddersfield Town would not be sitting in the bottom three. What were you doing, Bergzorg? To answer that question, we've got our town fan, Mark. Sorry to put you through it again. And we'll also be talking about who is Huddersfield Town's Player of the Month for March. What was the best 90th minute winner for Huddersfield Town? And also talking about the Millwall game coming up this weekend. Let's start then with the Stoke game. Obviously, we had the plans. It was a pleasure to watch the game, but it was decent in spells. On live on Sky on Easter Monday, so I managed to get to see this one for once. I was impressed with Town in spells. What did you make of it overall?
So halfway through the game, maybe halfway through the second half, I did send a tweet out saying decision making seems to be really, really the key for the game. Two key decisions yesterday went against us. One, Sorba Thomas not actually putting the tackle in for their goal. And two, yes, fair enough, you're on a football pitch, but he's got to be crossing ball there for Healy to put it in. It's on a plate. And I just feel most of this season is down to tactics and decisions. That's what it's coming down to, and not making the right choices at the right time. And sometimes, a 10-yard pass doesn't even stick in. It's like, come on, guys. So, yeah, a frustrating day out at Stoke, but we're still scoring goals. So it gives us positions to be winning in. If we weren't scoring goals and we're drawing games 0-0, I'd be more concerned. But the fact that we're scoring goals and you're coming up against teams who haven't been scoring goals, it might just work in our favour. But the consensus is that Town are 1, 2, 3 nails in the coffin for League One.
Yeah, it isn't looking good, is it? I mean, first of all, some goal. First of all, for me, like you say, it was really well taken straight, wasn't it, in the first half? With Birmingham winning, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday losing, with Plymouth losing and sacking their manager. You're now looking at the next 6 games, aren't you? How many more wins do you think will see you safe?
3 wins, but just going back to that goal, what he scored yesterday, that cracker, Town have conceded 2 goals very, very similarly in the same kind of area of the box against Ellis Sims the other day, where we did pinpoint for Coventry. And you're just like, you've got to close them down. You just knew as soon as we were closing them down, it's like, it's going to get a shot off here. You've not learned your lesson from Ellis Sims on Friday, and the same thing happened. You've just got to get a win. You've just got to find a win. Historically, we're crap at Bristol, we're crap at Preston, and if you're going to Ipswich to try and win the way they're going, you've no chance. So you've got to be beating Millwall, you've got to be beating Birmingham and Swansea City. Those are the games you've definitely got to win.
Yeah, I mean, of the 3 teams, Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, and yourself, I would sooner have your fixtures. Sheffield Wednesday have still got Norwich and West Brom. Plymouth have still got Leicester, but there isn't. I mean, the next 5 are all winnable, I would say. Preston.
Well, yeah, you expect kind of Preston to be on beach at that point. They're not going up, they're not coming down.
Yeah,
but we're just notoriously bad at Preston. I've been about 5 times to Preston, and I've seen us score once. I don't think I've seen us win. Bristol, I went 3 years on trot to Bristol and we conceded 8 goals and scored 1. Swansea, we drew 1 all the way early in the season, so again, a positive result. That Birmingham game will be massive, because I can remember back in mid-90s, Huddersfield Town got relegated because Birmingham City won. They got promoted and we got relegated because of the most extreme results possible, which could have come in, happened. So that Birmingham game looks like it's going to be a repeat of history.
Yeah, and then might be a party at Portman Road on your final day of the season, won't it? And perhaps everything needs to be locked up and sorted out before then, doesn't it? Because
Absolutely. If you're going to Bottom Road on last day of season to try and get anything out of that, unless it's which have already won league, it, it it sounds really, really weird. I would rather be relegated at Ipswich on last day, knowing you give everything and you're still in a fighting chance, than be relegated at home to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd just destroy me. I'd probably go support Liverpool for the rest of my life or something because, going away at last game of the season where you know everything's to play for compared to losing at home a week before it's a bit rubbish, but a lot's going to come down to that Birmingham game. I think the fact that Millwall lost at Rotherham this week, a massive shock. But it just proves that you just can't take any game lightly in this crazy season. It's been absolutely fantastic to watch, but nothing's given in this league, and you've got to go and you've got to win your games. And you've got 3 home games against 3 teams who are definitely beatable. But we said that against Stoke, and we said that against QPR, and we said that against Blackburn and Plymouth. And what have we got? It shows how bad the season's been. We played 40 games and got 40 points. That's relegation fodder, is that?
Yeah. Yeah, and there seems to be a bit more of resignation in the fan base, just from forums that I read that this is it for Town now, and actually there's a few suggesting, not many, there's a few suggesting it wouldn't be a bad thing to reset and turf out the dead wood and start again. Can you jump on board with that thesis?
I get it. I understand it. I mean, the problem is chucking out the dead wood is, well, no one's on long-term contracts. Everybody's kind of new. You can't say you're going to chuck out, apart from Jonathan Ogg, who's been there 10 years, most of the players for Town are either academy players or been bought in last 2 or 3 seasons. The problem we'll have if we go down is you'll lose Hellick and you'll lose Sorba Thomas and you'll lose Rodinho Balke and you'll lose Radoni, because someone's going to come in and like, right, we'll give you 2 million for Radoni, and be like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's going to be stupid like that. But this is the thing where I'm sat here and I'm just like, yes, fair enough, the tactics are being rubbish. But it's got to come back to players. If you're Sorba Thomas or if you're Rodinho Balke or you're somebody that's like, oh, I've just been relegated, it's like, well, why didn't you bloody try harder then? Why are you on pitch being a professional player instead of being a tantrum, chucking ball around and all that kind of stuff? Why aren't you actually trying to not get relegated? And, confidence comes into it and stuff, whatever else. But they'll go and make big money moves and go to, I don't know, West Brom or whoever it is who's looking at them. I think Everton are looking at Sorba Thomas and make a big money move to there. But you've got to show it now. You've got to show now why you're going to be worth that big money move in 8 games' time, 6 games' time. You've got to be proving to people and proving to Town fans, or whichever team you're supporting at bottom of the table, that you're worth that investment next season, or you're worth that investment from another club. Because, yeah, fair enough, Sorba had a good game yesterday, but I'm just like, defensively, you let yourself down by, again, not putting a player under pressure when you were there. You just stuck your leg over. I'm like, what's that going to do?
All right, let's talk about Millwall then, because I don't want to depress you too much. This is a chance then, isn't it? So Millwall just lost to Rotherham. Their fans obviously not happy about the way the style of play is. They're very direct. They will hoof it forward. Does that style of play go straight into Huddersfield's hands? Because your centre backs could just knock that ball back in for 90 minutes.
Yeah, potentially. And I've made this argument before, like the Millwall lad did, that we're not used to having the ball. We're the ones used to blocking and defending it, not counter-attack. So when you sat there thinking, right, you need to actually put effort into going forward. Now, I don't know the injury news for weekend, but I think we're all right. But if that's just going to be a long ball game, that'll be great for us. But Zion Fleming, he's got a taste for a goal at Huddersfield. I mean, last season we won by Nakayama scoring a 45-yard fluke, chuffing lob into the box. But if there's a game that you want to play, I mean, fixtures haven't been nice to Millwall, but you've got a long trip up to Rotherham. You're back down in London, probably training, and another long trip back up to Yorkshire. And hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
Okay.
We've got two relatively close games. We've got a game in Yorkshire, and we're at Preston, and we're down at Bristol. But this is the game we need to win. I think it could play into our advantage, but as long as we're scoring goals, you can still go win games. It's a fact that if we weren't scoring goals, I'd be more concerned. But it's just about defensive attitude and keeping in mind what you're trying to do. You're trying from a player's point of view to keep your career going and not get relegated.
Yeah. This is a 6-pointer. What score prediction are you going with this week?
Ironically, I think it'll be a draw, but I think it'll be the worst game of football you've ever seen.
Hold on. Rotherham play Plymouth on Friday night. Don't worry. I think
I didn't know that. Okay, so second worst game this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I've always had this thing, but we can score. And if you do score first, and Millwall seem to miss loads of chances at weekend, and if we give them those chances, one of them's likely to go in because that's just what Town have been doing all season.
Okay.
And if we go down, it is a reset. You've got to just crack on.
Okay. Let's get your manager. Let's get your player of the month. Let's go to brighter things.
I won't even know what to pick. I saw it and I'm just like, who would I say were our player of the month? I keep coming kind of back to Sorba Thomas or Jack Radoni because they're the playmakers, and we're conceding goals and losing games, so you can't give it to a defender or keeper, can you? So I think probably on balance of play, probably Jack Radoni because he didn't get sent off for a petulant moan at referee.
Okay. All right. And we're talking 90th minute winners this week. There's been a few in the Championship in the last couple of weeks that have been awesome. What's the best 90th minute goal or winner that you've seen?
I'm really sorry. I'm going to be really sorry to Aaron here, but back in 2017, when Tom Ince scored the last-minute winner against Watford, it was the loudest I've ever heard of Gal Farm, and it was just incredible. Yeah, so that's the best last-minute winner I've ever seen at Gal Farm. Or anywhere, to be honest. It was, I can still remember that day. And that's why it feels so sad being a Town fan now, because that's in our such short history that we got a golden goose, and instead of trying to get it to lay more eggs, we just killed it. Yeah. And to think about that, we're only 6-7 years ago it was, and now we're looking at relegation to League One. That day, it was brilliant.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, but she's starting to warm up around the towns of Huddersfield. So
absolutely.
Beat Millwall, beat Preston. We'll see you back here next week to look ahead to the
6 points would be great. It really would.
Bristol City
but
game.
I think we'll get 3 points, and that's it.
All right, mate. Good luck. Thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Nice one.